Welcome back to the Meet the Athlete podcast. In today's episode, I'm joined by Cari Hughes. Cari runs for OAC, the On Athletic Club in St. Moritz. It was really great to chat to her about the training dynamic, the facilities, and what On offers her as an athlete. It was really good to talk about all things training, coaching, and even some women's health in there as well. So I found this episode really interesting and informative as a male athlete in the sport. Thank you, Cari, for finding time to talk to me when you've moved back to Wales for Christmas. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode of the Meet the Athlete podcast. So guys, joined by Cari Hughes. How are we?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, a little bit tired, but I've got one more day of uni and then that's it. I'm going back home. So,
Oh,
so yeah.
I feel like everyone's finishing uni so late this year. Like, I feel like Christmas is like in a few days, and it's just
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
crazy.
it's mad. Yeah, I finish tomorrow, and then yeah, Christmas Eve on Saturday. So yeah, it's pretty mad. Have you done any running today?
I have. I'd actually did a threshold this morning. It's actually like my first threshold since Eurocross. So yeah, I just did a small 4 by 6 minutes with 90 float. So yeah, nothing nothing major, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. How did you think Liverpool went for you?
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool was good, to be honest. I was really happy with how I ran. Like, I told my coach, and my coach spoke, and we were just like, if I can make the team, this is like really good. First senior vest. Like, we didn't really know what to expect. Didn't really know who was going to turn up. I knew the under 23 team was probably going to be the strongest out of all the teams to make. So I was actually quite glad I was a senior at this point. But yeah, it was good. I actually tore my calf like 5 days out from Liverpool. I had a grade 1 tear, so that threw a spanner in the works.
Yeah,
But
crikey.
I know it wasn't the ideal prep, but I was just so happy I made the team. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so how did you find like Italy, Eurocross? How was that?
Yeah, Eurocross was so much fun. It was a tough course, but like I like that kind of running. Like I like the hills, the downhills. It's just good fun to mix it up. I actually was very ill during that at the race. Like a few days before, I had a chest infection, so I was on antibiotics before the race and then after the race as well. So that wasn't ideal either, but I think I ran all right considering everything. So yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, for sure. I've heard a lot of the people that went to Eurocross got either ill before or after. So I was waiting to see if you said COVID, and I was gonna be like, it was you, but chest
Oh,
infection.
I
No, it wasn't you.
think like, oh yeah, I tested positive. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared I'm gonna test positive. But I think because I was ill, I think I managed to dodge it. But yeah, it was good.
Do you think it affected your performance on the day or not really?
um, I'm gonna say yes, just because I felt like during the race I was like always like comfortable, not really able to go to that next level, but like not massively affecting my race. But I would like to have done a bit better if everything was a bit smoother leading into it, really.
Yeah, for sure. And having a grade 1 tear like a couple of weeks before, I mean, that's not ideal. Like grade 1 tears that typically they don't take obviously too long to heal, but it's just one of those things like you're kind of then conscious about it. You don't want to tear it again. You don't want to turn it into kind of scar tissue or anything like that. So no, fair play to you for kind of going through with it.
Yeah. It's
Um,
part of my journey. I think I get injured or ill now and again, and it's like I'm quite good at dealing with things now. Just as you get older, you just feel like, four days off before a race. It's not really a bad thing. You're gonna lose any fitness. Like I cross trained, and yeah, it was fine. So yeah, I just tried to play.
Fair enough. Do you feel like you're quite injury prone?
Yeah, I get quite a lot of injuries actually. Yeah, I think this is like the longest period of running I've had in a while. So yeah, touch wood.
Yeah, yeah, definitely do. I'm on a wooden table, so I'm touching the wood for you.
I know I'm
So
but I'm on the floor. I have to touch some wood.
to be fair, your floor does look wooden, so yeah, perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for the listener at home who maybe don't know you, obviously you run for On,
Yeah.
which is very cool. So talk to me a little bit about that. So when you're kind of back and you're not at home for Christmas, in Wales, where are you training?
So yeah, so I run for On Running, or more specifically OAC, which is On Athletics Club. Um, we when everyone asks me this, where are you based? Where do you train? And it's actually quite a strange question to ask because we don't really have a base, to be honest. Like we spend a lot of our time in Switzerland, in St. Moritz, but obviously in the winter it gets really snowy, really cold. So we kind of leave and go to a warmer country. So we kind of base ourselves in South Africa and Dulstrom during the winter season, and then for the whole of summer we'll be based in St. Moritz, and then just travel in and out for races and yeah, whatnot.
What sort of what are the training facilities like at OAC?
So in Switzerland, in St. Moritz, we have like an OAC Europe house where all the athletes live in this house, and the OAC group from Boulder also come and live in this house when they need to be based in St. Moritz too. And obviously, if you've ever been to St. Moritz, if anyone listening's been to St. Moritz, is so scenic and beautiful. And yeah, everything's just perfect there. Like you walk 100 meters to the track, the gym's right next to the track, there's a pool, the trails, like you just got everything you need there. So yeah, we're very fortunate to be based there, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it sounds lovely. I've seen so many kind of Instagram posts and things the same Moritz, and I'm just like, I just want to go. But yeah, it looks pretty spenny as well, a bit expensive. So
I think Switzerland as a whole is just so expensive. But yeah.
yeah. Yeah, half of the people on my uni course are Swiss, so they're always like, "Oh yeah, I'm going back home to St. Moritz or Zurich or wherever they're going," and I'm just like, "Nice, I'm going back to Surrey, nice." Um,
Yeah.
yes. So, who are you actually coached by?
So I'm coached by Thomas Dressica, is how I don't know how you say his last name, but yeah, he's called Thomas.
Yeah,
He's the German coach that coaches our whole team. So yeah.
very cool. Is there any kind of language barriers at all, or do you speak really good English, or do you speak German?
Uh, don't ask me that question. I was learning German, but because we're based in Switzerland now, it's like you don't really have to speak German that much. But yeah, his English is very good. Like everyone in the team can speak very good English. So yeah, there's no language barriers there. It's good.
Very cool. How long have you been coached by him? Has it been quite a long-term partnership or?
No, so I signed with the team in December. Um, yeah, last year. So I've only been coached with him, yeah, nearly a year, but I joined officially in January, so yeah, not that long, but it's been good.
Yeah, very cool. What's your favorite part of running with On? Because obviously On are a bit more of like an upcoming brand. They've really kind of hit the running scene the last kind of 2-3 years, or in the last year since you joined. So what would you say is kind of what separates On from the other brands?
Yeah, so running for On is honestly pretty cool. Like their plans for the future and like the way they treat their athletes is honestly next level. Like, and I'm not just saying that because I run for On, but the way they look after their athletes, the way they take care of you on and off the track is amazing. Like they just provide you with every support that you need, whether it's physio or like mental health stuff, just anything that you need, like they will support you through it, like no worries about it. And yeah, I think that's really good to have such a good support system behind you because at the end of the day, you have to be a happy athlete to be able to run fast. So yeah.
Do you find it weird being kind of training predominantly most of the year in a different country, or is it something that kind of comes quite natural to you, or?
Yeah, at the start when I first joined, I really struggled to do this transition from being based in Loughborough the whole time to then, okay, now I'm moving, now I'm in St. Moritz, now I'm in South Africa. Like I didn't really know where home was, and I was just living out of a suitcase the whole time, and I really found it hard to like adapt to this change. But now I'm like fully committed to it, and I'm just loving it. Yeah, it's so good. It's like you spend 4 or 5 months in one place, then yeah, you move to another place. It's pretty cool, and not many people get this opportunity. So I think you just have to grab it and yeah, take the like make the most of it basically.
Yeah, for sure. You certainly sounds like you're living the dream. So what would you say are your kind of plans for kind of the near future, kind of next 3 to 6 months in terms of your running indoors? Or are you going to stick to cross country for a little bit?
Yeah, so the main plan is to stay injury free. So this is my biggest goal because I've been dealing with stress fracture after stress fracture for so long now, and I think me and my coach have a plan just to stay consistent, and then hopefully the results will come from being like able to run consistent for more than 4 months basically. So yeah, but I will go indoors in Feb. Yeah, start of Feb I'll go indoors and then just try and have a really good outdoor season. I mean, I haven't had an outdoor season for about 3 or 4 years, so this will be the biggest goal of mine actually.
Very cool. So what event are you going to be mainly targeting in the indoor and outdoor seasons?
For the indoors, I think I'll do like some 3Ks, maybe a 15 at the end. But yeah, predominantly 3Ks, I think. And then outdoors, I'll definitely stick to 15. Yeah.
For sure. Very cool. So have you found any, obviously you mentioned injuries, have you found any other struggles with your training over the last 12 months? Obviously everyone's still kind of transitioning a bit out of COVID. You're away from your family. Is there any other struggles that you find?
No, I think at the moment we found a really good balance with my training because at the start when I first joined this group, like everyone was running big mileage and we like soon realized, well, I knew before that I couldn't run this mileage that everyone was doing, but obviously joining a new group, you just want to impress, you just want to do all the right things. And actually I should have taken a step back and said, look, I can't run this mileage, my body will break. And I didn't. So I got injured pretty soon after joining the group. I had a stress fracture in my shin, which wasn't fun. So like after this happened, I think we sat down and we went through everything and was like, look, I can't run more than 30, 40 miles a week and we'll just cross train really hard, a lot of volume on the bike and in the pool. And I think this just, yeah, it just works for me. It doesn't work for everyone, but for me, it's the best way to keep me in one piece. And yeah, so that's what we're doing at the moment and it works. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sticking with
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. If it's not broken, don't fix it. At the risk of alienating some of your training partners, have you got one particular favorite training partner that you just absolutely love to train with?
Uh, this is a funny question. I like all my group. I do a lot of my training with Fabian Meyer, who is a German 1500-meter runner. So for the whole of summer, we ran every session together. I do my easy runs a little bit faster than her just because she runs more mileage, just runs slower. But all my sessions I do with her. And then the guys, yeah, the guys group, we just, yeah, we sometimes run with them, sometimes don't, depending on how fast they want to run. But yeah, as a whole, don't have a favorite.
What's the dynamic like in the group? Is it fairly kind of like female athletes, male athletes separate, or do you socialize together quite a bit? How does it work?
No, I'm glad you asked me this question actually. We are a very close group. Just putting
Yeah,
out we all get along really well. We're all super good friends. We live in the same house. Like we all get along super good. Like there's no segregation of female male. I mean the boy side of the team is much greater than the girl side. So yeah, you naturally just become one big group, and it's really good. Everyone's friends and get along. So it's
yeah,
perfect.
like a big running family. I know that on definitely that's how they come across. They value like things like family and friendship as a brand. But yeah, you get the impression from some other brands that maybe they can tend to keep like or they form groups off of like male athletes and then there's female athletes, things like that. So it's really good to see kind of like a bit more of an integration there. I think it's really important.
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the day, we all work together day in, day out to achieve the same goals. So you're just gonna get along, and it's like there's no need to be. I know people in training they can't train together, can't run together, like they push each other too much. But we don't. We're not like that. We're like everyone knows the goal of the aim of the session, and we all do it well, basically. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, it's really good to hear. So moving on to something a little bit more negative, I guess, but it's something that definitely needs to be spoken about more. So I was actually having a conversation with Philly Bowden yesterday. Probably know her, good friends. I feel like a lot of the kind of the top female athletes in kind of the UK are actually just they're all really good friends. I think it's a lot more than the blokes anyway. Is we were talking about kind of body image and younger, especially female athletes struggling with body images, and you see a lot of kind of keyboard warriors, if you like, commenting on a lot of female athletes' photos on things like Instagram and stuff. I was just wondering if it was anything that you've particularly struggled with.
Yeah, I think I have struggled with it, especially when I was younger, growing up in the environment of being an athlete. I think it is hard, especially going through your teenage years. Like if you're developing earlier than other girls and stuff like that, it's tough to deal with. And social media these days is taking it to a next level of yeah. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really I know what you're trying to say. It's really tricky to kind of where do we start with fixing it, because I've definitely suffered a little bit with it, not to maybe the same detriment that some female athletes have struggled with, but it's really sad to see when you see people kind of I know someone like Ailish McColgan. you see it all the time. Like she gets a lot of kind of comments on Instagram posts and stuff like that. I'm just not really sure how we tackle it. But if you had one piece of advice to give to some maybe younger, especially female athletes who are maybe struggling with their body image, is there anything you'd maybe advise?
Yeah, so I think my biggest advice would be just to trust what you're doing, trust your coach, and just stop comparing yourself to other people because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know like if they're suffering through things as well. Like on social media, you just cannot compare yourself to anyone on social media, to be honest, because half it could be fake. Like we don't know what's real and what's not real on Instagram these days, and you just have to like take yourself out of that situation and just focus on you because at the end of the day you're a constant in your life and you're always going to be in your own body, so you have to respect your body and value your body as well because what you put through your body is amazing and what it can do. And running, being an athlete, like you put your body through so much stress, so you have to respect your body in that way as well, which I think a lot of athletes don't do. And like myself, yeah, I've hurt my body by underfueling and stuff like this, and then the outcome is getting injured or something like this. So I think you have to just respect your body and stop comparing yourself to other athletes because you don't know what they're going through either. So yeah. So
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever like supplement like nutritional supplements to make sure that you're getting the fuel? Because obviously female athletes tend to have a much higher kind of need for nutrients than males, obviously due to menstrual cycles and whatnot. So yeah, I was just wondering if you had to supplement any vitamins and things.
Well, I don't really supplement anything because I think it is better to get it in through like normal foods, basically, because a supplement, like you're supplementing it for something that you're not having for your meal. So I would say try and get everything in through your meals. But one thing I do, like iron at altitude, is something that I would take just because at altitude you need it and stuff like that. But yeah, no, not really. I don't. I just try and keep to the basics and fuel properly and correctly before training, after training, and then just make sure you're having good meals and healthy meals in between. Yeah, I try not to overthink it and overcomplicate it really because I think the more you think about it, the more pressure you can put on it. And yeah,
Yeah, I think for majority of people that I've spoken to about their kind of like diet and stuff, because diet's definitely something I've struggled with, like overeating. Like I just want to eat everything. If there's something on the table that's open, I'm
yeah,
not gonna let it go to waste, you know.
yeah.
And one thing that all the kind of the top athletes like yourself come back to is they don't overthink it, that they don't think about it like, and maybe that's where people like myself and other people struggling with it go wrong, is just thinking about it too much. Like you're just fixating on it too much, and that's where it becomes a problem. Um,
Overthink it as well. If you're constantly thinking, "Oh, am I doing this? Am I doing this?" Like you're gonna just want to eat or not want to eat. Like it's, I think it's normal if you're more chilled and more relaxed about it, and you know like you just know your body well enough, then yeah, I think that's probably the best approach. But I'm obviously not a nutritionist. I can't give like yeah, advice too much about it. But I do work with a nutritionist, which has helped me a lot from yeah, since joining the team. I think it's a big change that I made, which has definitely worked.
Yeah, for sure. Is that something you'd recommend? Definitely kind of getting in contact with a nutritionist, especially if you're kind of at that like higher level where you're putting a lot of demand on your body.
Yeah, definitely. And even for younger athletes as well, I think when you're young, it's actually like probably just as important to know how to fuel your body because I think when I was younger, I was eating super healthy or not eating enough. And I think this probably did lead to loads of injuries when I was younger because when you're growing and stuff, this is like the most important time and that you need to be fueling correctly and stuff. Obviously, when you're an elite athlete, you're a little bit more knowledgeable about these things because you've done it for so long. But I think as a junior athlete, like I think the support could not like could be better for junior athletes in this area, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any kind of one particular piece of information or advice that your nutritionist has given you that he or she is continuing to kind of instill into you? That one thing they have to keep reminding you of?
No, not really. I'm taking it in quite like yeah, as soon as someone tells me I'll try and do it instantly. But I think the one thing that actually stuck with me is like fueling before training is so much more important than people think it is. Like make sure you're consuming enough calories before training is something that a lot of people I think struggle with because you get a stitch or it doesn't feel right to eat this much. But you can actually train your gut so much to deal with this amount of food or calories before running. So I think that's the one thing where I've definitely learned and it's helped me so much. I feel so much better in training to have more energy. So yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
most important. and obviously fueling after is just as important. But I really struggled with the pre-training side of things.
Of course. Have you ever experimented with kind of fueling during sessions, or is that not something, I guess, because you're more of like shorter distance stuff, I guess there's no need.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that I've experienced or I've like trained, but maybe taking some water and altitude camps, or not if you're on a long run, or if I'm out riding, then I'll fuel during my rides. If I'm riding for more than 90 minutes, then I'll definitely take something like a bar with me, and yeah, a carb drink or something like that if I'm going for longer. So yeah, running no, but on the bike, then yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely something that I've kind of struggled with. Is it like if I was trying to keep my weight low, I would like not eat before training to think, oh, less calories, like, and then I'm just gonna like then burn them. But if I'm not giving the body calories to burn, then I'm just gonna run shit. I'm then gonna feel shit. I'm gonna eat shit, and then it's just a horrible spiral, really. Um,
Other things because it doesn't have anything else to break down, which then causes the injuries and complications, and especially on the female side, like menstrual cycle and stuff goes. And yeah, it's just really important to make sure you're on top of your calories. I think that's
yeah,
the
yeah, for sure. You also mentioned that On is really good with things like mental health support. Is that something that you struggle with personally?
no, not personally. I think just like the transition from being a uni student to then being a full-time athlete is quite a big change, and I feel like it's not always normal thing to be a pro athlete. I think a lot of people think, oh, it's you live the best life, you're just a full-time athlete, you've got nothing else to worry about. But it's actually, I struggled with it quite a lot, from having such a busy life to then having a more chilled downtime life. That you're still training just as hard, if not harder, but still like the recovery side of things, the downside of training, what you do with yourself is tough, and being away from your friends and your family. Yeah, we speak to a psychologist within our team, which has helped us a lot. So yeah, it's good.
This is not a reflection of On at all. But if you could change one thing about kind of training when you're in, say, St. Moritz, is it what would you change?
Um, so the one thing I would change is that we have a one base throughout the whole of the year. Like that's the one thing I think I would prefer. But I know a lot of people on my team would not prefer this. So yeah, but for me, that's the one thing, because I would like to have like a bedroom that's like yours. Do you know what I mean? I know we have that in some rates, but then we ain't there for half the year. So yeah.
So do you actually share a bedroom sometimes?
No, no, I have my own bedroom. Like everyone has their own bedroom. But yeah, but then you leave, don't you, for half the year?
Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've just misunderstood.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. I didn't know if you were like room sharing or something, and I was like, oh no, I'd need my own space. Like that would drive me insane.
No, no, we all have our own rooms, just to clarify.
I mean, I guess it actually makes sense from like to be fair, if someone offered me a pro contract and the caveat was I had to share a room, then I think I'd take that, to be honest. It depends who. Maybe not some people, but yeah. So what I'd like to do now is we'll move on to the section of my podcast, which is I haven't come up with a name yet. It's called kind of Cole's Dream Restaurant, if you like. So imagine you've just, I don't know, broken four for the 1500 or whatever. Like you've just ran an insane dream race and you're over the moon. So basically, you get to pick your location, your starter, your main course, a side, and a dessert and a drink. And I'm a wizard. I'm a meal wizard, so I can get you anything you like. And then at the end of it, if I approve of what you've ordered and where you've gone, then I'll pick up the metaphorical tab. And if I don't, then you got to pay for your meal.
Oh God, okay. The
Okay.
location. Gosh.
Yeah, so you can pick anywhere in the world. So you just ran the race of your life. Where would you like to eat?
I would have to say Zurich. Zurich is one of my favorite places, so I'm gonna say Zurich, and it's bougie. So, and you're gonna pay, so
Exactly.
Zurich.
Yeah, I can't say that I pick up the tab for all the female athletes that I take out, but yeah, when I can afford to, for sure. But to be fair, that question always kind of gets people because for me, it would be in my nan's living room. Like
Mm.
that's the one place that kind of resonates with me with like good food. So everyone's always like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Zurich or Greece or whatever." And in my head, I'm just like, I just want to go to my nan's living room.
Okay.
Okay, so you're in Zurich. It's very bougie. You've got you're out for a nice meal. What would you like for your starter?
Yeah, I'm not really a starter person, but if I had to pick something, maybe like battered prawns or some sushi, like crispy sushi. These probably one of those two.
Oh, very. Is there a particular type of sushi you like?
I like all sushi. I just love sushi.
Sushi's actually a really weird one for me, because I've actually only really got into it the last couple months. Not because I didn't like it, just because I'd never tried it. Whereas now it's like I'll pick sushi. Just the thought of like cold rice, cold fish, just didn't sound appealing. But actually, it goes really well.
It's so good. Honestly, I could eat sushi for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Is there a favorite place you like to get your sushi from?
Oh no. Well, my favorite sushi spot is in Zurich, to be honest. So that's where
Okay. Does it have a name?
I can't remember its name. I've only been there like twice, but yeah,
Le sushi, something like that. Yeah.
place in Zurich.
Okay, that's a good start. I'm happy with that. It's just when people say boring things like cheese boards.
Nah, I don't like.
Okay, moving on to the main course. You've just had your sushi. Not too much. You don't want to be too full. But you've enjoyed it. What main course did you like?
See, main course is so hard because I like everything. But if I have, this is gonna be really boring because I'm obsessed with Pokeballs. So I would have to
Okay,
say bowl.
so you're gonna have to actually explain what these are to me because I've heard of them before,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it's some form. It's like Japanese, isn't it? But I'm not 100% sure what it is. Are they fried or
No, so Pokeball is like rice, usually sushi rice, and then you just have loads of like vegetables, like avocado, peppers, like mango. I put on my
okay?
Pokeball. Have like raw fish, like raw salmon. I'd put or some prawns, or like whatever.
Okay,
Um,
very nice.
so that's a Pokeball, which is pretty boring. It's my favorite, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
I have to say, when you said Pokeball, it took a second for me to realize that was a food, and I was like, oh, maybe you just like you're into Pokemon or something. I was like, I don't know what that is. And then I was like, oh no, I have heard of that before. But yeah, no, okay, I like that. I like that. And what would you like to go with it as your side dish?
Ooh, let's just go sweet potato fries. You can't go wrong.
Okay, okay. I mean, there's a bit of a mix of cultures, but
Yeah.
I like it. Sweet potato fries are good. I'm a big fan of sweet potato fries. No, I approve. I approve. Okay, and then dessert. My favorite course. This is the one that matters the most to me. If you pick a savory dessert, I might end the call.
No, 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 no. A dessert. This is a hard one because I like all desserts. This is also a problem. I would probably go. Okay, a brownie with coconut ice cream, and if the ice cream ain't coconut, then we're not having it.
Oh, that sounds so. I'm not going to spoil the episode because I'm not sure which ones I'm going to release in which order. Because for the listener, I'm pre-recording some episodes due to a heavy exam January, so I don't know which order they're going to come out in. But another guest said brownie and ice cream as well, and we had a bit of a debate about like whether you need more ice cream or more brownie.
Oh, that's a good one. I think you need like the right balance because if there's not enough ice cream and the brownie's dry, then it's an awful brownie, but it's not good either. So I think you need like a good balance, like half and half. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay. And I guess if you're in Switzerland as well, like their brownies, they should be pretty good.
The food in Zurich is amazing, like really good.
And a lot of the Swiss girls at my uni, they'll bring back like all these cheeses and do things like fondues and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, mwah.
Yeah, like I don't like fondues, I don't like cheese, so I wish everyone in Switzerland is like oh fondues and it's yeah, cool, but yeah, I don't like it.
Fondant.
Literally.
Okay, okay. And if you don't have any coconut ice cream,
Yeah.
what would you
Uh,
pick?
what would I pick? Oh, are they called Cheerios? How'd you say it?
Churros. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, them probably.
Okay, okay. Well, lucky for you, I can magic anything up. So we have got coconut ice cream. Don't you worry, it's the best coconut
How
ice cream.
specific.
Yeah. No, I like that. I'm a massive fan of coconut. I could eat anything coconut. Bounties. I could eat coconut straight from the tree. I love it. Probably not the shell. Couldn't eat the shell. But what drink would you choose to kind of accompany this meal?
Oh, accompany this meal. Um, Any flavored sparkling water is what I go for, to be honest. But
Sparkling water.
I
Hmm.
know, like flavored sparkling water.
What I don't get about sparkling water is it's like water is pretty tasteless as it is, and then somehow adding the bubbles makes it even more tasteless. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I get that. I used to hate sparkling water, but then I've grown up and now I like sparkling water.
Well, obviously you like sushi, so I don't know if you've ever been to Yo Sushi, and they have the two taps, and you have to pay to use the water regardless, but it's either still or sparkling. But the fact they make you pay for like spring water always makes me choose the sparkling because I'm like, well, if I'm paying for water, I might as well have the sparkling water.
It's very true. But usually, favorite drink is usually coffee. So, but it wouldn't go with that meal. But yeah,
Okay, and no alcohol, no alcohol during the meal.
no,
Do you drink?
no.
No, no. Yeah, that's a good decision. I don't drink either. Is that from an athletic point of view or just because you don't like it?
Yeah, just both. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, anyway, I approve of the meal. I'll pick up the tab. You don't have to pay for this really expensive meal in Zurich. So yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
happy about that.
Yeah, I'll put. But yeah, it's a good meal.
Yeah,
So.
that's a really good meal. I would eat that and I'd be content. If I was on death row and that was my meal, I'd be pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But anyway, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. I hope you have enjoyed chatting to me. Sorry, go on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No, you're absolutely welcome. And yeah, have a very Merry Christmas. As I said, I don't know when this episode's coming out, but I don't know what you've asked for Christmas, but I hope you get it.
Thank-
Um, and yeah, have a good one.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to you too.